go, hey, sorry we missed our annual conversation last year. I totally blew it.
That's okay, I should have remembered it. So.
Yeah, so anyway, well, I know that you prefer not to fill out written answers on the form, but at least we can just go through the major areas, and it's always a good chance to think about something that's not just research all the time, but how things are going. So I guess it would be really helpful for me if you could tell me what you think your research accomplishments have really been over the past year. I mean, how's it been going from your point of view?
Well, I guess it hasn't been going as well as I would have liked. I mean, it hasn't been my fault though. Like the mice just keep dying, and so I can't get enough samples, and then so it's just been hard to get the data. But I'm really optimistic. I think that it's getting to a point now where I should be able to have enough results to write a paper, maybe by the end of the summer.
Yeah, I think that's quite realistic, because you've got a bunch of data from last year that really set the stage for the story that you want to tell. But this last set of experiments that are going right now, it's really going to, first of all, it has to be your absolute top priority. Now, I know you and I agree on that because we talk about the data all the time. But it really is also going to be a turning point. This is the critical experiment for figuring out what the story is going to be. So getting a paper out on this by the summer, I think, is both of our highest priority. So, but you think, yeah, so the mice, clearly that is bad, that they've been dying. But now that we've got them on breeder chow, things are going better. Are there other things that you think have been slowing you down?
Well, to be honest, I'm just finding the data analysis quite hard. I don't know, maybe I could talk to you just a little bit more as I go along with the data analysis, and maybe that, I mean, I know you're really busy, but it would really help me. Just maybe we could meet once a fortnight, once every 2 weeks.
Oh, sure. No, I'm really, yeah, no, anything that I can do to facilitate how quickly things are moving forward. And if we need to find like a statistician to come in, because I'm not that great with statistics, and some of the data that you're analyzing are highly statistical. I know we had a consult earlier on in the project. So definitely, let's find a set, is that what you want, a set time to meet,
yeah,
and just focus on this data? Okay, and then we might have to consult someone else on the faculty as well, just to get through that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is there anything else that I can do to help you move this project forward really rapidly, or is that the main thing?
No, I think that those are sort of the rate limiting steps. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be helpful.
Okay, that's good. So I agree that progress has been as rapid as either of us would have wanted. And we need to get this paper out no later than June. And I feel like we've at least got a realistic plan for the next couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then the next part of this thing we're supposed to talk about is plans for next year. Goals, publications, workshop attendance, fellowship grants. Oh boy, that's a lot. Okay, so we've talked about the project and this paper that we want to try to submit by June, so that's good.
So where do you think it should go? I mean, that's something else that's worrying me.
Yeah. Well, it's going to depend on what the story is. I mean, if your hypothesis is right, and that really chromatin is, the chromatin remodeling is epigenetically setting cell fates, that's going to be this is a hot topic. This next experiment is going to be key. It could definitely be a really nice cell paper. But if this experiment, shows us that it's actually not what we've been thinking, it's totally reportable. I don't know, what do you think? Journal of Neuroscience, maybe development at most. Okay. So we just have to see how that experiment goes before we can decide. It's either really hot or interesting, reportable, solid. Okay. Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I know you're going, let's see, Society for Neuroscience Workshop is coming up in the summer. Fellowships.
So
what's this?
Yeah, what's this? I think it's the end of July.
Okay, good. And then you've got the ACS Senior Postdoc grant that's already been submitted. When would that start? Right at about the same time?
I think there'd be a few months overlap, but I don't know if I have that yet.
Exactly when did they say they'd let you know?
I think they'll let me know in the next few months, like in the next 3 months.
Okay, so basically you've got your NRSA through the end of July, and then hopefully the ACS will start on August 1st. Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess even if I get that, I might need a couple of months of funding, and if I don't get the Bridging Fellowship, I guess I'm...
No, that's true. Oh, you know, I should, yeah, no, don't worry about that. Yeah, no, I've got money in the NIH grant that got funded in the fall, finally. And so there's no problem with the gap, and I know that I have money for you for the next year. But, so July 30th, 2009, after that.
Okay.
That's, yeah. So, so we need to make a plan for what's going to happen at that point. If you get the ACS, you're golden, and I might be able to scrape up a couple more. But I think you should plan on job search next year, and then transitioning to the next thing in the mid-summer of 2009. And you know what? It's probably a good idea that I write this down. Yeah. Right, so that we both have a clear understanding of when.
Yeah, maybe just to guarantee the funding, and so that we both know that.
Yeah, good. Okay, so guarantee from your point of view and sort of a plan that we both know what the date is. So that date's going to be August 1st.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I hate having that conversation. I'm really glad you brought it up. I got to be better at that. Okay. And so. Other professional training. Do you need any other professional training?
I think I'm doing okay. Maybe a little more statistics or something. But
yeah.
I guess the question is whether I should do that or collaborate with people.
Oh, that's a good point. So you could. Did you take a statistics course when you were a graduate student?
No.
So one thing you might want to think about is auditing a statistics class. Maybe when we get the statistician to come in, he can tell us what he thinks. We can get some advice about that. I think everyone needs to know statistics, but I didn't take it either. I seem to be doing okay, but then I have to collaborate with statisticians. So I guess that's the choice.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll just have to figure out, I think, to what extent you want to emphasize these sort of broad, like expression profiling. The big future thing is going to be systems biology, and I think maybe getting some additional training in that area could, depending on where your career goes, could be really important.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for plans for next year? Oh, well, we'll have we need to talk about where your project is going next year. But let's see how that key experiment goes. Yeah. So, like 6 weeks from now, we should know. And let's set aside a time to have that conversation. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay, good. Career development, part 3. Current career goals. Sarah, what do you want to do on August 1st of 2009?
So, I guess I'd like an academic job. I think I'd like to start my own lab. I'm a bit frightened because I'm not entirely sure what the lab would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have lots of little ideas, and I've been getting to the stage where, when there's a project, I can come up with interesting new directions to take it.